You're listening to Your Superpowered Mind on the Superpower Up podcast, the show that investigates the innate power within your brain to create lasting change.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Your Superpowered Mind. I'm your host, Kristin Maxwell. And in this show, we explore the process of transformation and give you tools and strategies that you can use to transform your own life. So today we are talking to Brendah Nbdele, and Brendah is going to be talking to us about living with passion and vitality after adversity. Brendah is a health and wellness coach and speaker, and she guides clients to live amazing, lasting lives and make significant improvements in their health and wellness using the power of transformative resilience. Brendah herself has overcome significant adversity to create this life for herself. And I am so looking forward to having her share exactly how it was that she was able to bounce back after adversity and to create a meaningful life. So welcome to Your Superpowered Mind, Kristin.
Brendah. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. So my first question is always, what superpower did you uncover as a result of mastering your mind?
I surprised myself in that I'd always believed that I was a woman of faith. I certainly was brought up in the Christian faith. And somewhere along the line, I think while I was busy creating a career for myself, as you do, I sort of seemed not to connect with that so much. But I then discovered the superpower through the universe, through connecting with nature. I found that really, really aligned me with who I am in such strong way, very much at a much deeper level than I'd been when I was kind of thinking God and the universe was only found in a building that is called a church. Now I know that is not the case. So the superpower I discovered was very much through that. Yeah.
Oh.
Connecting with the universe at a much deeper level and understanding that the universe is there for us and you only need to connect with it for you to get everything that you need in life.
That's beautiful. And I want to definitely hear more about how you were able to come to this understanding. But before I do, you have really quite a story and a background. And maybe you can share, sort of, explain what is some of the adversity that you overcame?
Well, I'm sure I'm not alone in the adversities that I've experienced, but I think in a way where for me as an individual is unique, that I experienced several, all in a very short space of time. I lost my parents, my two middle sisters, within 12 months. While I was really coming to terms with that, particularly the death of my mother, with whom I had the strongest bond ever that two human beings can have, almost completely overwhelmed me. I was absolutely, completely devastated. So while I was coming to terms with that, I then found myself ill. I got diagnosed with osteoarthritis, very advanced by the time I got the diagnosis, simply because the medics kept saying it was because I was a workaholic, basically. So they kept saying it's stress, Brendah, just rest because you're stressed out. And by the time they realized that it was a little bit more than stress, I could not really be helped. My knee was completely mashed up. I had a total knee replacement, which failed, obviously, because the condition was so advanced. So I ended up with a disability. And just, my consultant then told me there was nothing he could do for me. To start with, I was on crutches. I was walking with the support of crutches for 2 years. And then he said, well, the only thing I can do is to help you choose a good wheelchair, because wheelchairs is not just how they look, it's also how they function. And I said, how long for? And he said, well, until you die. I wasn't 50 yet, Kristin, and I thought, my parents lived until they were in their 90s. So I could face 40 years in a wheelchair. That terrified the hell out of me. So while I was having all of that happening, I then decided to go on a holiday of a lifetime, because I decided that waiting for a perfect time for me to actually go through my bucket list was not going to happen in a accident, really. So I went to the Far East, because that was always my dream, to go to the Far East. While I was in Hong Kong, which was one part of that trip, I'm getting emotional. I became very ill very quickly. Basically, I ended up with double pneumonia, and the doctors there didn't understand my body, basically underdiagnosed. Said it was, first of all, they said it was flu. I said to my sister, no, it's not flu. And I said it's bronchitis. By the time I realized it myself, because I'd had bronchitis before, I'd had pneumonia before, I said, actually, it's not even bronchitis now. I think it's pneumonia. And to cut a long story short, thank God that I could persuade British Airways to fly me back. I went straight from Heathrow Airport to the hospital. My consultant told me that, another 2 hours, and his phrase, and I remember it to the day I die, he said, another 2 hours, you would have been meeting your maker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you come back from that? Because you now walk, and
yes, I now run half marathons actually, which I never could do before. I now run marathons. In fact, not just half marathons. I've done 2 in the last 2 years.
That's amazing.
And what I understand from people who do that actually not bad time, quite good time. So I came back from that because one day I suddenly realized that the organization I worked in was very toxic. Corporate world, corporate rat race. I don't need to say too much. I don't think, I'm sure your audience understands the challenges of working in the corporate rat race. But I underestimated quite how toxic the environment was. I discovered that when I was recuperating, because nobody was interested in whether or not I would leave and whether or not I needed any support. They just kept the phone calls that the nurse took was to say, when is she coming back to work? So that gave me a kick up the what now. I suddenly realized the universe had been trying to tell me patiently, you need to get out of this place. So I got out of that place very quickly, and I suddenly thought, crutches or no crutches, I am going to go walking. First day, I could barely get to the gate of my property. And then after that, I thought I'd get to the post box. And then I just had small landmarks, baby steps. And I suddenly found myself power walking with vigor daily. Do you know, I've kept that up for the last 3 years. I don't miss a day. I actually had a prospective client say to me 2 weeks ago, the weather is turning chilly in London. I see you still going out. Are you still going out every day in this chilly weather? And I said, yeah. What if it's raining? And I said, so what? You get, you're up home, you go out. So I do that. And I found that just gave me being out there in fresh air, movement, first of all, so our bodies were made to move. But also for my mind, I needed to be in fresh air. I find that sets the tone, the positive tone that I need for the day to be a positive one, by actually starting by going out there. And I also discovered a man called John Asaraf. Through him, I discovered The Secret. Mm-hmm. And I have done some fantastic work on my mind, changing my mindset, because my mindset to start with, Kristin, was awful, in the sense that I never understood that I needed to take care of myself. I would take care of absolutely everybody, and their dogs and their cats, everybody, but neglecting me. So my self-care was non-existent. My eating habits, if you could even call it that, were atrocious. So I ate badly, I slept badly. If I slept at all, I used to sleep like a couple of hours. So I changed my mindset completely. Now my self-care is top priority. I know for me to be the person my clients need, my family need, my friends need, actually the person that Brendah Brenda was put on this planet to achieve certain things, needs. I need to take care of myself first.
Right. Wow. I really want to go a little bit more into, how it was that you were able to shift from essentially unable to walk and in a corporate, a toxic job to living with passion and vitality now. But we have to take a break. So can you tell listeners, where they can learn more about you and your story?
Yeah. My website is called joyfullifecoaching.com. So joyful as in ABC, joy as in the joy experience, joyful life, coaching, all one word.
Great.
All there. You can find me there. And yes, I've got some blogs there. And my stories there too. I've written an ebook too that tells you a little bit about who I am and what my background, where I've come from.
Great. Thank you. We've been talking to Brendah Nbdele about living with passion and vitality after adversity. We're going to go deeper into that after the break.
Are you here to change the world? Do you talk about things like vibration, frequency, awakening, and consciousness? Are you pretty sure you have superpowers? The Superpower Net is unlike normal coaching programs and conscious communities. We provide training, intuitive guidance, peer-to-peer learning, intensive one-on-one coaching, and a high vibrational network of people just like you. When you join the net, you get 24/7 access to a collaborative group of people who support you as you master your personal power and unlock your superpowers. If you're ready to use your superpowers to change the world, then join the Superpower Net today. Visit superpowerexperts.com/thenet to learn more.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Your Superpowered Mind, and we are talking to Brendah Nbdele. And Brenda, I guess, so my question is what was it that allowed you to really overcome some really significant physical challenges and grief and, a toxic work environment? What allowed you to turn that around, to decide, I'm going to start walking, I am going to live and find out who Brenda really is?
Kristin, it sounds a bit trite when we say we don't actually realize as human beings what we have. We don't appreciate what it is we have until we've lost it. I think I suddenly realized that I hit rock bottom. Because I was thinking in those terms, I've hit rock bottom. I've got nothing to lose. But actually, I thought that would get me moving. Then I realized the more I thought in those terms, that was just too negative. That I would find it very hard going in those particular days. And it is only when I looked around me, I thought, you know what? I have got so much to be grateful for. There are people who don't have a home. I actually have a home. Yes, the corporate world has been hard work and all the rest of it has been toxic. But actually, I have a home that I love. And in fact, I have more than one home. I have a home in London. I have a home in Africa. So once I started actually appreciating what I have, and I started quite badly in some respects, you would say, because I started appreciating material things. As I said home, although of course home is not so much a material thing, because we do need a roof over our heads. So I thought, I have a roof over my head. There are people who can never ever dream of having a roof over their head. I have that, and it's a good one. But I then started appreciating what I have in the sense of actually myself, who I am, the fact that I can actually think for myself, that actually I can use my brain, and actually realizing that there are people who actually are not capable of using their brain because they're so ill. So, and I think by actually expressing that gratitude to myself daily, by actually appreciating absolutely everything that I have and using my gratitude journal daily, and I start off by actually, when I wake up in the morning, I say, thank you, universe. Thank you, God. I've woken up alive. Because I could have woken up dead, whatever dead means. So, now because having had that near-death experience, and I know what that felt, I actually started by expressing gratitude for that. And then I express gratitude in absolutely everything that I see around me, the fresh air. And that gave me such resilience. I've always had compliments and been known as strong, whatever strong means to different people. But I found the difference for me was that I then had inner strength. That's what I mean by resilience. That actually I knew that all that grief, however awful I felt, and I did feel absolutely dreadful. But actually, as I was able to dig deep, I knew that I had an inner strength inside of me. I felt that I was fine. I would be fine. The universe had my back. I felt that. And that's the difference between what I call, resilience based on inner strength, or opposed to actually strength of character. Because you can have a strength of character where you can just bulldoze yourself through situations, but that can be derailed at times. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are. So, the way I hear it is you really at some point realized that you did have much to be grateful for in yourself. And at some point, it sounds like you really started to connect to the universe. And you had power inside, and that you really could just be grateful to be alive. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
because I think, don't you think a lot of us, how many of us actually stop each day and actually express gratitude out loud to ourselves that you are alive? Well, I never used to do it, you see, until I found myself in this situation. I never used to. Just took it for granted. Like I took for granted that I get out of bed, one foot in front of the other, there I go. It's until I lost my mobility that I suddenly realized, to get even a drink, I needed to ask another human being. And that really brings you up short.
Right. So how, you talk about, I've noticed sometimes about vitality. How do you define what is vitality?
Vitality for me is having the stamina, having the energy, having the zing. It's like a fizz, and because people now just say, oh my gosh, Brendah, just being in the same room with you, it just fills with this positive energy to do anything you want to do. If I decide I'm going to do 6 things instead of 3 things in that day, you know what, Kristin, I do it and I don't feel tired. I have the stamina of a 20-year-old, or so I am told. But actually, I laugh and I smile when people say that, because I think to myself, actually, I didn't have this kind of stamina when I was in my 20s. I know you just kind of think that, but I didn't. Now I have this stamina, this endless energy, this zest for life, because I have this vitality that is based on more than just me as a physical being, because of my connection with the universe. And I have a very, very deep connection. When I'm in the park, I'm power walking. I'm like a woman possessed, because I walk so fast, but at the same time, I'm talking to the trees. I am talking to plants. I am talking to, every bit of nature. And I know they can hear me. They answer me back. I have actually birds flying to me. A few people who walk dogs who see me regularly, they say, why do birds fly to you and they don't fly to us? And I say, well, shouldn't you ask the birds? They say, well, they want to understand us. And I say, well, then maybe you need to practice talking to them or listening to them, better still.
Right. So it sounds like when you talk about this connection with the universe that you have, because what a wonderful sense of knowing, to know that you are connected and that the universe is there for us. But then I think for many people, they don't even know how to go about starting to have that connection. So for you, it sounds like in part it was getting out into nature. What else? What else helped you to find that connection? Because I think many people don't ever find it.
Well, as you rightly say, nature for me has been very much the facilitator for that. But also, it's making sure that one has quiet moments where you really just sit and you are still. And I would not want to call it meditation, because I know that puts some people off. You don't have to meditate. Just having that stillness, and it doesn't have to be a long period of time. I know, because I knew as soon as I was saying that, I could even hear people shouting, "I'm too busy, I don't have the time." Literally, just a minute a day. Just that's it, 60 seconds. Because I normally, when I get out of bed, instead of just swinging my legs off the bed, because I used to do it, and I'm sure you do it as well, Christine, and a lot of people do it. You wake up immediately, swing legs off the bed and rush it off. And after that, it's just rush through the day. So what I do, as I swing my legs through the floor, and then I sit still. I have my quiet moment. I'm just peaceful. I do my first day affirmation for the day, and that's what I mean. And just doing that regularly, I found that I began to really connect with the universe, because there's so much noise in our lives now. Whereas if you just can give yourself that little bit of time, and it quietens your brain, you have this peace, this sense of contentment that I never used to have before.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing as well is that there is no one way. And it's like about movement. Some of my clients would say, "Oh my God, no, I can't face, no, I don't like walking. I can't run, I can't jog." And it's all about what they can't do. So I have now drawn up a list of 50 movements, no less, 50. There are 50 ways you can move your body. A human being's body was made to move. I'm sure each one of us, every person, can actually find the one movement that works for them. So it's the same thing about connecting with the universe. There are different ways one can do it, and one of them can work for one person and the other. I have a friend who actually connects through cycling. He just goes cycling on his own. He just takes off on his bike, and he comes back and he says, "That's it. I'm now at peace with the world, because I'm sorted. I'm back in, I'm now connected with the universe again."
Wow, that's beautiful. And you know what I love about what you're saying is, it's what you're giving is actually really grounded, tangible advice. It's not sort of this, "Oh, just go out and make this great leap and you're going to be connected," because that's hard to go from not feeling connected to connected. So it sounds like.
You know why, Christine? It's because I am talking about what has actually practically what has worked for me. Because I know exactly what you mean. Because when I used to read self-help books and so on, I've always been left with the question, "But what exactly do I do? Can you just tell me that bit?" And I think I find more and more what is actually helpful and invaluable to people is sharing your journey, sharing what has worked for you. And that's what I do with my clients. I will share with them how my journey started, and I say I may be at a different stage of the journey, but actually we're all on that same journey of transformation. I just happen to be maybe further down the line because of the adversity that I experienced, which I now see as a gift. I mean, every time if anybody mentioned that total knee replacement, that botched total knee replacement was a gift, I mean, I wanted to hit the consultant. Quite frankly, I was so angry. I'm not even a violent person. I hate violence. But, I was just so angry, thinking, why me? Why have you taken my mobility away? By little, I thought, gosh, that was a gift.
Wow.
That actually was a gift from the universe to say, I'm going to take your mobility away, because without your mobility, you can't make this journey to do this awful job that is killing you. I tried to tell you to leave the job. You haven't been listening. So I'm going to find a much more, a message you can't ignore.
They're going to hit you over the head with it.
Exactly.
Right. Yes. Oh, that is great. I love, and one of the things that you referenced earlier is you said that in morning stillness, you have an affirmation for the day. What kind of affirmation do you say to yourself? Is that gratitude, or is there some other type of something that you say to yourself?
I always have gratitude, of course, but also one of the ones I love, absolutely love, says, all life comes to me with ease, joy, and abundance and glory. All life comes to me with ease, joy, glory, and abundance.
That's beautiful. And it seems to me that what somebody can do is, if they're on the stage where they're like, oh, what does that mean? Is just even being willing to open up to saying, okay, I'm willing to learn how to live this way.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yes. Just saying, okay, I am going to learn. Show me.
Yeah. And in the beginning, one of the things that's very much similar to what you just said, that I used to use as an affirmation, I used to say, universe, I'm willing to listen now. I am listening now. I'll just say that in my quiet, then I will be still. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So for those where it's too much of a stretch, because I understand, I have gone through this whole journey myself, going from feeling so disconnected and stuck in my head and anxiety to slowly opening up. And this stuff felt too out there. Like I'm not going to say this airy fairy
Exactly. It can be too much of a huge leap. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
But I said to people, baby steps.
Right.
I think you were asking me earlier, how did you start? Well, literally, I thought to myself, you know what? Baby steps. And that's all I did. Baby steps, one foot in front of the other. I've had also clients who say, oh my God, how do I get started? And I say, you know what? Just one foot in front of the other. Wow. That's all you do. You concentrate on that step you are taking at that time. One foot in front of the other. Even if you just do 4 in that moment, you've still done 4 more than you did the time before. So one foot in front of the other and baby steps. And you get there.
That's beautiful. So we are about running out of time, but I am so grateful to you for sharing your story and the wisdom that you gained and some real, practical, doable advice for helping others who are really wanting to find more, passion and vitality in their own lives.
So, thank you, Kristin.
Yes. And can you tell us one more time where listeners can find you?
A joyful life coaching.com. So maybe with my British accent, people won't understand. So it's as in ABC. So joyful life coaching.com.
Perfect. And I believe there will be a link to your website that they can find. So that won't be a problem.
Yeah, great.
So thank you, Brendah. And
thank you, Kristin. It's been great talking to you.
Yes. And listeners, thank you so much for listening in, and do maybe see where you can find a moment to sit still and maybe invite if it feels just so far-fetched for you, to just invite the opening of the universe, the idea of the universe supporting you.
Absolutely.
Yes. And absolutely. Until next time, go out and remember that you do hold the power to change and transform your world.
Are you ready to discover your superpowers? Go now to superpowerexperts.com and take the superpower quiz today.